I grew up here. I grew up around the sea. I love the sea. That's a place where I can perhaps be reborn, if you like. I wish I could swim, because then I would really swim inside the ocean, just, to dive in. I love the smell of the sea.
And massages, I could come and massage my feet in the sand in Cape Town.
Who is Lolo Veleko? She's a work in progress, I think. I've just decided to concentrate on one thing and behave and be disciplined. And I'm interested in a lot of things that people don't even know about. And I think the reason why I decided to give you a sneak preview of where I come from, who brought me up, who were my friends, where did I go, like where did I walk, the steps of where I walked as a child to be where I am. And so I guess Lolo is, like I said, a work in progress, and I could change tomorrow and just be something else.
Okay, it's right up there. Are we going to where?
Tricia.
Sometimes I say I always wish I can be a witch, because if I was a witch, I wouldn't do bad things to people. It wouldn't be about other people. I'd be in different parts of the world all at the same time, doing work, doing the positive.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. We actually went to... You enjoyed it?
I love being alone, but loneliness is not right. It's not the right thing. I've always wanted to know who I am. I still am on a journey to find out who I am. I probably won't ever find out who I am in its total fullness. But I'm halfway through that, because I've found out where my family comes from. And I understand what apartheid was about even better than I used to through the identity thing. And so I understand why people sometimes would say I'm not black enough.
So yeah, this is my high school, because like there's 3.
I'm sick and tired of the cliche of, if I'm an African, I have to wear beads or have dreadlocks or look black, or I don't know. That was done in the 70s and 80s. It was overdone. It was even an overkill with photography, because a lot of photographers came and took photographs of what they thought Africa was about. But I think Africa is a whole lot, and it has always been a whole lot richer than that. And that for me I've always known through stories and narration from my grandparents. It's a pity they didn't take a camera. They didn't know how to use a camera, because I think their photographs would have been amazing, maybe even better than mine. Because the stories they tell, it's like, wow. I always go like, no way, that's not true. It's just like, I still laugh, I still go jump and go like scream at the sneaker shop and in the window. I am like that. It's not an act.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left wheel! Left wheel! Check! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, left, right, right! That's a long time ago.
Well, Cape Town is often seen as not being part of Africa, because it looks more European than Africa. I don't know what it means. I don't know. Maybe Africa is supposed to be dirty, congested, with a whole lot of people screaming all around and loud and whatever. But I grew up here. This is Africa to me. It's just in the south of it, like the last part of it. And so when people say it's not part of Africa, I think that's wrong, because then I wouldn't have grown up in Africa, and so where do I get all these ideas about who Africans are? So what am I talking about? So, and my work has always been influenced by where I grew up. I just happened to have gotten training elsewhere, but all the time it was all these memories of images that I'd seen in Cape Town that made me do the project that I've done so far. So I don't know what do they mean when they say it's not part of Africa.
Again.
For my face.
Pink hat. Viva Las Vegas. By the time it grows up.
I also love the friendliness of the people. That's still there, which is great. The friendliness of everyone you meet in Cape Town. People would go out of their way to do stuff for you, which is what I'm used to. People are still kind of patient here, whereas in Johannesburg, people are impatient. People are rushing somewhere. People are, you know.
Yes, we'll print you one meeting.
Beautiful. Yeah, you can stand there. You don't have to go.
I do this myself.
Yeah.
Khadija Sudan.
Yeah, can you just write it there?
And I'm an urban person. I mean, I'm totally urban. I grew up in an urban setting. And I'm definitely going to be mixing all the influences I've come across. You know, I've met Nigerian people, I've met Angolans, I've dated Spanish dudes, so I've always been mixing with people. I don't want to always know everything, especially the touristic side of things. I actually want to find out for myself. I'm quite a curious person because I think sometimes when people tell you, I mean, for instance, that's why I didn't tell you anything about Cape Town. I just mentioned a few things and say, okay, this is this, this is that. I just want you to find out for yourself, experience it for yourself, explore it for yourself.
Clouds, Lolo. I don't know. There are clouds, no sun, nothing's radiating, but we just have to pray to God to get the sun, Lolo. Wow, let's do this. Action!
My work has always been about identity, and slowly from there it moved to fashion. You know, kind of how young people define who they are as they're young, because that's going to kind of be stolen away from them, either by social issues, by work, or they get married, so they change. Eventually they have to wear the same clothes as everybody else, and so therefore they cannot define themselves as, this is me, this is how I dress up, this is how I define myself on a daily basis. It's not even about their clothes, it's just their personalities, the way they think. It's out of this world, and I just wish sometimes I could just have like this island where I just bring people to meet the people I've met. Just, you know, hang out with them and really see that the Africa you have in mind, it's, I don't know, it's an invention. Yeah, it's an invention to kind of feel better about yourself. It's a projection as well. It's like, oh, okay, how can I make myself better than you? I'm gonna project, I'm gonna put you down, and forever, as long as you can be down, I'm elevated. I mean, in the streets especially, it's kind of hard to kind of think that the streets here are the same in Joburg. They're not. They look similar. But you have to know how to navigate through those streets, through language, through how you talk to people. So that kind of holds me back to just navigate in those. So that's why it takes so long to create the work that I create, because it is a collaboration. I have to respect some people from those different places, and I have to let go of some people who don't want to be photographed.
I'm from Soweto, and that's that. So for me, I decided to
I have no control over what's going to happen next year. So I always kind of have other plans, so that if ever this doesn't work, I have strength in something else that I've also been building secretly. So I just, even with photography, this is just one part of many me's. That specific image was addressing a whole lot of frustrations that I often have. And the fact that I can't scream when I'm in trouble, I call it scream black lips, because then you've got the black lips, and I feel like all the time I'm frustrated by certain things, and I feel like screaming most of the time, because sometimes I feel like I'm not heard. I feel mute. It's exactly as in that photograph, that it is a scream, but it's mute. Who is Lolo Veleko? I grew up knowing that I'm free. That wasn't something someone needed to tell me. That wasn't something someone needed to teach me. I'm interested in a lot of things that people don't even know about. And I think the reason why I decided to give you a sneak preview of where I come from, who brought me up, who were my friends, where did I go, really swim inside the ocean, just, you know, to dive in. I love the smell of the sea.
And massages, I could come and massage my feet in the sand in Cape Town.
Who is Lolo Veleko? She's a work in progress, I think. I've just decided to concentrate on one thing and behave and be disciplined. I grew up here. I grew up around the sea. I love the sea. That's a place where I can perhaps be reborn, if you like. I wish I could swim, because then I would